It is nearly impossible to have grown up in America and not be familiar with Aunt Jemima. But do you know the racist history behind the image? 5 things to know about Aunt Jemima's racist history. Welcome to The 5, where we share 5 interesting things in Black culture and society in every episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notified when we release new videos. The birth of Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima was first introduced as a character in a minstrel show, an American form of entertainment developed in the late 19th century. Each show consisted of comic skits, variety acts, dancing, and music. The shows were performed by white people in blackface for the purpose of playing the roles of black people. Minstrel shows portrayed black people as dim-witted, lazy, easily frightened, chronically idle, superstitious, happy-go-lucky buffoons. The inspiration for Aunt Jemima came specifically from the song Old Aunt Jemima, written by a black performer named Billy Curson in 1875. It was a staple of the minstrel circuit. The song was based on a song sung by slave hands. Old Aunt Jemima was performed by men in blackface. One of the men depicted Aunt Jemima, a slave mammy of the plantation South. Aunt Jemima wasn't real. The lyrics in Old Aunt Jemima tell of the promise to be set free and yet remaining a slave forever. While the lyrics depicted a reality, Aunt Jemima did not. There was a big difference between the stage mammy and the actual female household slave. In fact, many argue that the slave mammy that became the stereotype never actually existed. Aunt Jemima's appearance. The mammy, inspiration for Aunt Jemima, was created by white Southerners to redeem the relationship between black women and white men within slave society. Slave owners sexually exploited and abused their female slaves. Mammy was made to appear unattractive so no white man could want her over his white wife. She was also proof that black women were happy as slaves. The mammy helped put to rest any worries white people may have had around her, or women who look like her. The birth of Aunt Jemima's pancake mix. Aunt Jemima's pancake mix began in 1889 when 2 speculators, Chris Rutt and Charles Underwood, bought a flour mill. Together, they developed the idea for self-rising flour that only needed water. Initially, it was called self-rising pancake flour. Rutt was inspired to rename the mix after attending a minstrel show featuring Aunt Jemima. Rutt decided to use the name and the image of Aunt Jemima to promote his new pancake mix. However, Rutt and Underwood were unable to make the product a success, and in 1890 they sold the business to the Davis Milling Company. The woman that played Aunt Jemima. The Davis Milling Company developed an advertising plan that used a real person to portray Aunt Jemima. The woman they found was Nancy Green. Nancy Green was born a slave in Kentucky in 1834. In 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation set slaves free and Green moved to Chicago after the Civil War. There she worked for the Walker family as a domestic servant. It was the Walkers who brought Green to the Davis Milling Company to audition for Aunt Jemima. Nancy Green debuted as Aunt Jemima at the 1893 World Exposition in Chicago. The Davis Milling Company constructed the world's largest flour barrel to grab people's attention. Then they put Nancy Green on display, much like the flour, and gave her an act. She dressed as Aunt Jemima, sang songs, cooked pancakes, and told romanticized stories about the Old South. The Davis Milling Company's marketing plan was brilliant. They delivered their customers something they had always wanted but could never have, a real-life mammy. Along with the pancake mix, pamphlets were given out telling Aunt Jemima's life story, which was fictional. The character Aunt Jemima reached the height of popularity in the 1910s and the 1920s with well-constructed ads. After Nancy Green's death in 1923, Anna Robinson took over. An entire campaign was designed around Robinson as Aunt Jemima and her association with celebrities. She had personal appearances and was photographed at some of the most famous places making pancakes for Hollywood royalty, radio personalities, and Broadway stars. In 1993, the Quaker Oats Company debuted a series of television ads for the pancake mix featuring the singer Gladys Knight as a spokeswoman and using Aunt Jemima's face only sparingly. Through the years, Aunt Jemima's looks have changed. She has gotten slimmer, lighter, and even an attempt has been made to take her out of the southern plantation setting. But what has never changed since the creation of Aunt Jemima is that it is a racist act. That's it for today's episode. We'll be back next time with another episode on Black culture and society.